Paula, I just spoke with Carlos Arredondo, Cowboy Carlos, as he's become known, the man forever linked in the best way possible with such a tragedy with the Boston Marathon bombings. Of course, when one of the bombs went off just a few feet from where I'm standing right now on Boylston Street, Carlos Arredondo famously rushed in, rescued Jeff Bauman, the picture that's in all of our minds of Carlos wheeling Jeff to safety. When I was speaking to him earlier this afternoon, though, it struck me, I think of Carlos just in the context of the marathon bombing, but he reminded me that he's been a resident of the city of Boston since the 80s, and like so many residents of the city of Boston, he already had a great, close, personal relationship with Mayor Tom Menino long before the marathon and its aftermath. So that's what I was talking to Carlos Arredondo a little bit about. He was recounting a story to me about how the mayor stopped by a Jamaica Plains soccer match that Carlos was playing in. It was a 24-hour-long soccer match, as a matter of fact, a fundraiser. And who should show up, of course, but Tom Menino to take pictures, shake hands, and say hello to everybody. So Carlos Arredondo already had a relationship with the mayor, and he said he was personally grateful to him for the mayor's and for the city's outreach to the Hispanic community. Arredondo came here, of course, as an immigrant, barely knew the language, barely had any context, but said he always felt comfortable here, in part because Mayor Menino made him feel comfortable here. And that was part of the mayor's charm, part of his success as a politician and as a person, the fact that he was always able to reach out to all of his constituents.
He's been a leader ever since I met him, and we all learned something from him. He's been teaching us so much, and being Spanish in my community, we have the support of him showing up and being in the event. So he gave us, the Spanish community, a sense of security, participation in everything in the city, and that was very good for many of us who really begin a new life in this part of the country.
And just think about that. That's just one guy who we all know now, but before he sort of became more famous because of the marathon, he was just another person who would stand up out of the crowd of the hundreds of thousands of people in the city of Boston and say, Tom Menino went out of his way to make me feel like I belong here. Jonathan and Paula, that's more than a little bit incredible.
Absolutely. Jim Armstrong live in Boston. We appreciate it. And of course, the man who Carlos Arredondo helped there at the finish line, Jeff Bauman, had this to say in a tweet earlier today. Rest in peace, Mayor Menino. Thank you for your years of service and dedication. Boston strong.